And now, let's join Maggie Linton on SiriusXM Urban View.
Well, welcome back. Tomorrow, we continue with early holiday shopping with our Entrepreneurs Gift Week. It will feature chocolatier Beth Buckwalter and bow tie photographer Cliff Robinson. He can give you bow ties, other accessories, and take your photo, too. But we continue right now with a chance for you to own a part of Black history. Our guest is Rosalind Withers, the daughter of renowned photojournalist and historian Dr. Ernest C. Withers. She is the president of the Withers Collection Museum and Gallery in Memphis, Tennessee. Dr. Withers covered Black events during the Civil Rights Movement better than anyone in the history of the world. Welcome, Rosalind.
Good morning, Maggie. How are you this morning?
I am just doing fine. So good to have you on. You've got a lot of good and unique things coming up for Christmas and holidays, don't you?
Yes, we do. We have a product that we're really excited about because it's not just a photo, but it's an image that is captured in our past. It gives an inspirational quote, and it gives a 1 to 2 word vision that one would see when they see that image, like a powerful statement such as persistence, love, victory. And all of these are captured as you view the history of our past.
And as we view the history of our past, folks, if you've never visited the website, which is the Withers Collection Museum Gallery, witherscollection.com, then you have not seen this phenomenal photography. And also, when you go to the National Museum of African American History and Culture, you're going to see a lot of Dr. Withers photographs, more than you were expecting, right, Rosalind?
Absolutely. Originally, there was a 32 image placement, and before we left, after the opening, we were told that additional images are donated.
So with the addition, we just lost her. Oh, we're going to have those phone problems today, huh? I guess we are. I have to tell you, folks, it is just amazing. And the thing that's Dr. Withers, not only did he cover the Civil Rights Movement, but he also covered the music scene, which was very rich in the Memphis area at that point, and still is, for that matter. He's got a great photo of B.B. King, Dr. Martin Luther King, and Elvis Presley. So he covered all of the music going on there, and a lot of the sports too, because Memphis has for years had a Negro Leagues baseball team that was also based there. So just an amazing set of photographs, and of course the movement. And even though Rosalind said there were 75, a number of other of his images were donated. The thing that also was going on was you'll find his photos and other things. If you go to the Emmett Till exhibit within the museum, his photographs that were part of Jet magazine are also there. So those don't even count with the images that were there. So we've got a lot of different things that you can associate with. Rosalind, you're back.
Yes, I am. No happened.
I'm telling you, that's the reason why I don't like those cell phones.
I apologize.
But we have to do what we can. Let's talk a little bit about your dad and his coverage of the Civil Rights Movement, the music scene, and also the sports scene in Memphis.
Yeah. The sports scene is actually his earliest work. It was his passion in baseball. And fortunately, his timing was impeccable because he covered the transition from the major leagues, from the Negro Leagues into the major league. And he covered so many of the known historical, iconic baseball players such as Satchel Paige, Jackie Robinson, Joe Campanella, Ernie Banks, and so many of them in their early days before they got into the major leagues. And these were images that are quite iconic, and they've been in many of the stories that that is told today as we learn about that historical events that they covered.
And
there is the music aspect.
Mm-hmm.
He was the official photographer for Stax for 2 decades, so he covered many of the stars that came through the ranks of Stax, such as Isaac Hayes, even Aretha Franklin. We know the staple singers, David Porter, who wrote many of the popular lyrics that we sing today as well. And I'm just drawing a blank on some of them. But he also covered iconically B.B. King as a blues. He was a very good friend of B.B. So he has the earliest stages of B.B.'s career as a young kid on Bill Street, just twiddling on his what became Lucille, but his guitar back in those days.
Yeah. Well, I think of Ike and Tina Turner, and of course, many pictures of Elvis Presley, because I've seen so many different images within the collection. They're just there is a lot to be seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, what he's most noted for is his civil rights.
Mm-hmm.
He started very early in that, and that's the moment in which it captured the eyes of Martin King, was his coverage of the Emmett Till trial. And as he covered that trial, and the world being he gave the world the opportunity to really see what was going on through his images. And that was published globally in the wire service media, in newspapers and magazines across the globe. So that is what captured Martin's attention, which led him to ask my father to be a part of another movement they were doing in Montgomery. And that's why we know about the Montgomery bus boycott, because he did the exact same thing that he had done for the Emmett Till trial. And then he made those historic images of the Montgomery bus boycott with Abernathy and Martin on the front of the bus, with that contrasting image of the gentleman that's standing in the back that is a white Caucasian person. So it was such a flip of what they were living day to day, and it made such a powerful statement being on the front pages across the country.
Right. It certainly did. I think of also, with the Emmett Till exhibit, your dad covering that so dramatically. And, in the museum, they have the Jet magazine that it actually ran in, which was I miss that magazine so much. I really, really do.
Yes. Jet magazine. He was a freelance photographer for Jet, and he covered a lot of assignments for Jet. And he and Mr. Johnson had a very long-standing relationship, because of some of the areas that they sent him to cover were very dangerous. And he covered the March Against Fear. He covered the Little Rock Nine when they were integrating Central High School in Arkansas. And these were things that he did for Ebony and Jet during his freelance photography days.
Yeah. Well,
so all of these images are images that are available for people to have as gifts, but we, in our collection of Withers IQs, they are Withers inspirational quotes. Not only do we capture them by using one word, but we also use very famous people or very profound words by people like Eartha Kitt, and we have Martin King, we have Malcolm X statements and Henry Ford, and these words are like success. Let me describe one of them for you. The iconic image that is called Success has a black female holding up a card, and you look at it in the first glimpse, you say, that looks like a check, but it's not. It's a voter's registration card. Mm. And then we have a quote that says, the price of success is hard work, dedication in the hand, and the determination that whether you win or you apply for the best you deserve, that you, with the task that you have at hand. And she's holding that up, and it's by Vincent Lombardi. So we take these images that are very powerful, and we give a stand, and one of them being unity. It's a black and white photograph, and in that photograph, it's Maya Angelou making the statement. So these will be available. We're releasing them on our app. We have an app that is available on the Android as well as the iPhone, and it's called Withers Collection. Right now, the images that are out there today, those images are the 32 images that are in the Smithsonian, in which you can order and have them as a personal collection. But the Withers IQs will be released on the 18th, and they are at a sale price. They're normally $75, but we have them on sale for $40 per image of an 8x10. So we want them to be gifts so that our youth can really appreciate our history, learning it, and then giving them a stand as they learn those quotes that go along with it. So, Maggie, we thank you for this opportunity to really give all of our American citizens an opportunity to have our history on our walls, in our homes, and just to know that this is a part of what gives us the freedom we have today, and to really remind us not to take it for granted. I'm not saying that we've taken it for granted, but it does give us an eye-opening experience with what just took place in the last week or so.
All right. Yes. Very true. Listen, folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we return, more with Rosalind Withers, president of the Withers Collection Museum and Gallery in Memphis, Tennessee. You got to go and see some of this collection. We'll stay tuned. We'll be right back.